Yeah, really proud of the team. I think this was a great week. The preparation by the players and the staff was elite, and then the execution on the field by the players on all sides of the ball was outstanding. Great job by our pitching staff for the 3 games. Really proud of the guys today, the way they executed what we laid out for them. Defensively, I thought we had a great weekend. They had 1 error today, but I think that was it. And then offensively, really strong performance in 3 different kind of ways. But I think it shows the capability of this team, and really proud of them. And we're going to get reset. We're going to put together another great week and get prepared for the coming weekend.
Hello and welcome to the Tigers Roar. I am Jonathan Poche, joined as always by the Budman, Buddy Songy. We're here at Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard. A great place to watch some LSU baseball this weekend. Come check it out. Great atmosphere, old school prices with great food. Once again, 10655 Coursey Boulevard. You saw the intro. LSU Tigers hosted a regional this weekend and survived undefeated 3-0 in the tournament. A lot of accolades, all tournament team. We'll get to that. We'll let you guys hear from Coach Jay Johnson and some players from the post-game interview from that 3rd game against Oregon State. Bud, man, we'll welcome you in on Tuesday. Great to see you, my man.
Good to see you. First Tuesday of the month of June, and LSU fans are happy.
Yep.
It was not easy, JP, and you can imagine the good Lord did not put me in the line for patience, and I had a lot of messages this weekend that Beavis and Butthead were the 2 NCAA officials that came over here and were running this regional. Very frustrating. You had all that beautiful weather Saturday. You got that rule with an 8-minute delay if there is lightning within, 30-minute delay if it's within 8 miles. And lo and behold, to sit out there and see those people tailgating all those times Saturday.
Yep.
But Paul Skeens, how about this? It works out better. We always talk about the crystal ball. Is it foggy or is it clear? Jay Johnson, under the premise of Wes Johnson and knowing that he's leaving, we talked about him being uptight. Everything fell into place. Skeens and LSU beat Tulane 7-2. They win the marble game 6-5 over Oregon State, and then come back and make a definitive statement yesterday afternoon before the monsoon. So great, and now they host Kentucky. First game will be Saturday at 2 o'clock. The times will be determined for Sunday and Monday, but I like the trajectory. I like the setup. And no disrespect to our Kentucky friends, but in Baton Rouge, LSU should never lose to Kentucky in baseball or football. Sorry, said it for 30 years. I still agree with it.
Right. Obviously, LSU took on Kentucky earlier in April this season. It was a 2-games-to-1 series for LSU. Viral Bear Jones drops a bomb, says something to the pitcher. It goes all over social media. So there's some storylines. Absolutely.
Hey, good memory. I forgot.
That's the last time they faced each other.
Been tossed on that.
Absolutely. So it went viral. You saw him, mouth something to the pitcher after he absolutely pimped one. He knew it was gone. Said something, walked to first base. But there's going to be some storylines in this game. LSU, outstanding job though after a rough, last 3 weekends of the regular season and not the greatest showing in Hoover. To come back, hit the ball well, but the pitching, especially the bullpen, which is the biggest question for LSU going into the regional, was what is going to be on that back end of that bullpen. But guys like Ackenhausen, Guidry, Griffin Herring had an outstanding showing. We'll talk about the bullpen. We'll talk about all 3 games LSU had, starting with that Tulane win. We'll talk about that. We'll let you guys hear from Coach Jay Johnson later on in this program. Also for some players, we got Dylan Cruz, Josh Pearson, Hayden Travinsky. But, man, how hot has Travinsky been behind the plate? A huge boost for LSU. The bats came alive at the right time. Didn't lose a game in the regional. And as you mentioned, will now host Kentucky this upcoming weekend. Game starts Saturday at the Box. And it's going to be a raucous crowd, bud, man.
8 players now for LSU have hit double-digit home runs, and they live and die with the long ball. I predicted on the radio show 10 home runs for the weekend. They got 0 in that first game. Great comment by Jay Johnson, in case you missed it. He pitched Paul Skeens for a variety of reasons. Number 1, the possible weather issues, but number 2, he wanted to settle his team down.
Right.
They were playing tight,
right.
JP. They were playing very uptight. that first game. And then 5 home runs, even only got 6 runs out of it, but 5 home runs. You got to feel like once Dylan Cruz hit that 2-run dinger to make the deficit 3-2. And how cool is this? Hayden Travinski and Cade Beloso go back-to-back, not only the second game, but the third game. So Tigers are doing well. Fielding is okay, but as you alluded to, Riley Cooper, fantastic. Griffin Herron grown up. Obviously, we know that Gavin Guidry is now your closer. Skeens went 9 innings, his first complete game. He had an earlier complete game with 7. They beat Kentucky 16-6 the first game, run ruled them. And also in that game, if you remember, Kentucky chirped a little bit, and Skeens kind of looked down at this 5'8", 170-pound second baseman like, go sit down, boy. Don't be talking. I'm a man. And so these coaches get along, but I think there's a little chirping between these two teams Saturday at 2. And, yes, will weather play an impact? Because if you've got showers coming in later, then you got to determine whether you start Skeens. But I think you start Skeens regardless. Let's hope we got a better weekend of not sitting around at the box for 8 hours.
We're going to take our first break of the evening. Before we do, remind you guys, check out our YouTube page at youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. If you missed any of this episode or any episodes in the past, go check out our YouTube page. While you're at the page, click the like button, click the subscribe button so you're notified every time we post something new here on Tigers Roar. We're here at Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard. Come check us out. He's the Bud Man. I'm JP, and you're watching Tigers Roar.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Rouge Jr., and I am a general dentist at Rouge Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Visit Treads & Care Tire Company's new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for over 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair and top-notch customer service.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats. The flavor says it all.
The biggest sale of the year is happening right now during Happy Honda Days at Team Honda. For a limited time, make no payments for 90 days on every new Honda. That's right, you choose and make no payments for 90 days at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda on Segan Lane.
Hey now, give it your best, put the broken lies to rest. Look up to the skies, I see desire in your eyes, but you can't keep it in your heart. 'Cause misery loves company. 'Cause misery loves company. Cold and hungry like a dog in the street. I get a raw deal every one.
And we continue here on Tigers Roar. Certainly appreciate you tuning in. If you missed anything in this program, go check out our YouTube page at youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. We're talking LSU baseball. The Baton Rouge Regional concluded yesterday, Monday, as we tape here on Tuesday, June 6th. By the way, happy birthday to my nephew Peyton. It's his birthday today, turning 11 years old, bud, man. Happy birthday, Peyton. Hope you have a great time. Actually in Turks and Caicos for his birthday. His mom treats him well, spoils him, bud, man.
Man, I tell you what, if you're named Peyton, I hope it's not after Peyton Manning. It is a more popular boy's name. But speaking of that, football is around the corner. LSU football, if you're a big fan on this June 6th, go to lsusports.net. They've got their roster up. John Emery is listed. Trey Bradford is listed. 8 running backs. We'll get into that in the coming weeks. But football's around the corner. And are you with me? You think that they get to Omaha? Look, it hasn't been pretty, but I thought getting the 19 hits and kind of reestablishing some confidence, and it did seem like they knew what they were doing. That game that they lost to Kentucky 13-10 is when Jay made about 5 or 6 moves with the pitchers, and every one of them backfired.
Right.
I think now the roles are a little bit more established, and so a lot going on. But you know how it is in Baton Rouge. If they're not in Omaha, people are disappointed, JP.
That's right. Guys like Dylan Cruz, guys that have done so much for this program, deserve a chance to go to Omaha and represent LSU in Omaha. Guys like Paul Skeens admitted that that's why he came to LSU, to try to get Dylan Cruz into the Omaha dance and compete for that College World Series. Let's talk back to the Baton Rouge Regional, bud, man. The first game for LSU was against the Green Wave from New Orleans, Tulane University. Coming in with 40 losses on the year, bud, man. 17-40, but they won the AAC tournament, so they get to go to a regional. They pulled LSU first game. Paul Skeen gets the ball. He's on the bump, and a lot of fans are kind of questioning, why would Coach Jay Johnson throw our ace against a team that only has 17 wins? But, of course, you mentioned it earlier. Coach wanted to get the whole team into the flow of the postseason, and obviously Skeens is your ace, your number one. Your bell cow, so you put him on the rubber. Goes 9 innings, bud, man, his longest outing of his career. 0 walks, 12 strikeouts. Outstanding job, saved that bullpen for the entire weekend.
The other reasoning behind it is that you are hoping to win the regional, and you've got to have your pitching in line for the super regional. Had Skeens not gone the first night, then he would not have pitched until Sunday. Now, they came out with the brackets today for the super regional, and LSU is playing Saturday, once again on ESPN at 2 o'clock against Kentucky. But that was another reasoning, and this is one of those things that the coaches got to calculate with weather. You don't want to start a guy. He goes 2 or 3 innings, and then there's 2-hour rain delay. You can't bring him back.
Yeah, you don't want to start that guy for sure.
You can't ruin those arms.
Yeah.
So great for Paul Skeens. Ty Floyd started 3 innings the next day. Then we had the rain delay. And then, of course, Thatcher Hurd, another great story, 12 strikeouts. And I think that was the game that they've been looking for him all year long, JP.
Getting back to that Tulane game, the Baton lineup, it was pretty much the same as it was in Hoover. You keep Dylan Cruz at the one spot. You figure you get your best hitter, the most at-bats. Tommy White right behind him. Morgan went to 3-hole. Jared Jones out of the lineup, moved Morgan back to first base, who had an absolutely how he wasn't on the all-tournament team, I have no idea. But the plays he was making, not only the scoops stretching out, saving runs, saving errors, but the plays he can make it look effortless, turning his hips, run to the foul line, to the stands, catching pop-ups, the whole deal. In my opinion, the best first baseman in college baseball. I was happy to see Morgan back at that spot. And he did come through with some clutch hits in that 3-hole, which is good for Morgan to get off that schneid a little bit.
Well, he was going 1 for 11 for a while. He got a couple hits on the last day. But the Oregon State first baseman, I think, was 8 for 17. So he got it on his offense. Yeah. Tommy White, big guy. Everybody loves you with the Mr. T jewelry startup kit. But come on, man. I delivered 3 bottles of patience pills. Tommy White and the rest of the LSU offensive guys have got to let the game come to them.
Yep.
And when you're swinging on balls up here in the eyes and the top of your forehead, you're not going to hit them. And so have a little patience at the plate. You know he's been sitting on 91 RBI for a while, so you know Tommy White is going to blow up this weekend. And how cool a story. We talk about the class, the integrity, and really the blood, sweat, and tears of this LSU baseball team in Paul Skeens and Dylan Cruz.
Yep.
And both delivering. Dylan Cruz, MVP for the weekend. Got his home runs back, 17 home runs, and had a bunch of hits. Great on defense. And so, look, you Tiger fans, this is the first Tuesday in the month of June, and we know that many of you already plan to go to Omaha. I would say there's a high probability. Oh, by the way, you know who was the second most, I guess, bet online has Wake Forest is 3-1, LSU 5-1 to win it all. I'm not ready to say that, but I am ready to say they have a great chance, and I expect them to get to Omaha.
Using Dylan Cruz numbers on the tournament, 8 for 13. That's a 615 average, bud, man. 615. Had the 2 home runs, 4 RBIs, scored 5 runs, contributed in the outfield, as you mentioned. I mean, the guy's a lockdown center fielder. He played both gaps, has a great arm, can run. Really a 6-tool guy when you put in what else he brings to the team. When you hit that home run, he fired up the whole offense. He got the fans going. Yeah. Bang one off the Tony Sastry sign, a line drive that was, 30 feet in the air, got out in a blink of an eye.
How can you imagine? You shoot film. Marty shoots film. Can you imagine how tough it was to follow that home run?
Right.
Banged off of the Tony Sastry sign, and, of course, Travinsky and Beloso going back-to-back.
Unbelievable.
We'll wait to see. I didn't necessarily like Tommy White in the 2-hole.
No, me neither.
I would put Josh Pearson at the leadoff, Dylan or second, him, Dylan Cruz, and Tommy White. But Tommy White looked like he was forcing a little bit, so hopefully he can have a little patience. But, man, don't be swinging at balls on your eyes when it's 3-2 count. They've got to give up some of those bad swings for walks, but one other pitcher that we know that really came in here and did a great job, Riley Cooper, starting yesterday, gave him 3+ innings, and then as we know, Ackenhausen and Griffin Herring, and now Guidry, man, reminds me, you remember Matty Ott. Remember Matty Ott as a freshman?
Yep.
Look, when you're a freshman, you're full of P&V and you don't think you can ever do anything you want. He does not shy a lack of confidence. So a lot of good trending. Are they going to win it in Omaha? I think that's a stretch right now, but at least we feel like they've got a great chance to get there. And then you just got to get hot at the right time.
So, Bud, man, you saw Hayden Travinsky and Kay Beloso go back-to-back home runs in back-to-back games.
Yeah.
Also, very unlikely, you had Josh Pearson.
Yeah.
Hit a triple in the 4th inning in Game 2 and a triple in the 4th inning in Game 3. I mean, I don't know what is more unlikely, hit a triple in the same thing in back-to-back games or have 2 guys go back-to-back home runs in consecutive games.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So, and 19 hits yesterday. That's the LSU that we saw when they were playing so good 12 consecutive weeks as the #1 team in the country.
We'll take another quick break. When we come back, we'll let you guys hear from the head coach himself, Coach Jay Johnson, right here on Tigers Roar. He's the Bud Man. I'm JP, and we're over at Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard. If you can't join us, watch us on YouTube at youtube.com/Pelican Broadcast. And we'll be back after this break right here on Tigers Roar.
Tremonti's has meat. Tremonti's has seafood. Tremonti's has much more. Tailgating and home gating platters. Huge wine and liquor selection. Beer and all the spices you need. Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats. Ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs. 20 flavors of sausage for the grill. Daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tremonti's.com.
The season of inspiration is the perfect time to discover the enhanced Mazda CX-5, named a 2022 IIHS Safety Pick Plus Award winner, its highest safety award honor. Choose from over 45 CX-5s available at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda on Airline.
Hey everybody, I'm Kevin Gallagher. This is Roy Fletcher. We hope you'll join us for Fletch Nation, especially if you like talking politics.
Man, come and join us. We'll give you the information, and then we'll give you the context. And by the way, we'll give you fun, too.
Lots of fun. We hit the local races, the state. We even look at what's going on all across America. And by the way, this space is available. If you'd like to talk about advertising, send your emails to Roy Fletcher at royfletcher.com and join us every week here on the Pelican for Fletch Nation.
Caught spiders. Premier Pest Services.
Every great story starts with the rush of thrilling gaming action. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Getaways for some well-deserved me time. And rewards worth bragging about. If it's a story worth telling, it starts at La Berge Baton Rouge. What's your story?
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to greystonecountryclub.com.
Treads and Care Tire Company announces its new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for 50 years, Treads and Care is known for quality automotive repair with top-notch customer service. Treads and Care offers the convenience of shuttle service and pickup and delivery of your vehicle. You can also enjoy the comfortable customer area, complete with workstations, high-speed internet, and a complimentary coffee bar.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
Treads and Care, the tires you need and the service you want.
And we continue here on Tigers Roar. Jonathan Poche and Buddy Songy from Old School Barbecue talking some LSU baseball, the Baton Rouge Regional, and a whole lot more. Let's get back to the lineup for LSU, Bud. Man, you saw Dylan Cruz, the center fielder, batting that leadoff spot, just like he was in the SEC tournament. He was at the 3-hole for most of the season, but when he struggled in the 3, wanted to get some different pitches, different situation, kind of flip-flopped most of the lineup, Bud, man. Now that we get into Super Regionals, Dylan Cruz, we already read his numbers from the tournament, 8 for 16. 8 for 13, even better. Now that he's getting hot again, do you kind of move him back into that RBI 3-hole spot, or do you leave him at the 1?
Well, look, Jay Johnson was asked that earlier this year, and he said, I want to get him as many at-bats as I can. Now, the beautiful thing about it is that Pearson has been hitting in the 9 spot, and as you alluded to with the 2 triples, he's been on fire. You talk about Travinsky and Beloso. Good to see Gavin Dugas get off the schneid. He's been slumping a little bit. He got a home run. Still doesn't look 100%, but it's a great question. And I'll just tell you this. If Kentucky throws Dylan Cruz a fastball, they're crazy. I wouldn't throw that guy anything but breaking stuff and slow speed stuff. We'll see. Crowd's going to be into it, and this is why LSU is a prohibitive favorite. Balls are flying out of the box. And, man, Oregon State, that first game when they blew out Sam Houston, very good opponent. So that was a good win. Kentucky came through the loser's bracket and beat Indiana twice. But we'll see with the lineup and if they can hit runners in scoring position. Gotta do a better job. LSU left way too many ducks on the pond. But great for Dylan Cruz and Paul Skeens and all those guys because they deserve. Can you believe it here? Dude, this is the last weekend, Tiger fans. This is the last weekend. You're going to get a chance to see something you'll never see ever again. Ever. I don't care if you live another 50 years. Because Skeens and Cruz are going to go 1-2 or 1-3 or whatever. Right. We're not going to see that again, although I guess it could happen. But cherish this weekend with the kind of caliber you have with Skeens and Cruz. It's a blur. It's over. This is our last weekend at the box, folks.
We'll let you guys hear from some players, their post-game interview from this past Monday when they defeated Oregon State to take the Baton Rouge Regional. Here is outfielders Dylan Cruz, Josh Pearson, and catcher Hayden Travinsky right here on Tigers Roar.
And what's been working for you lately?
Just trusting myself and really like keyholing specific spots and not getting outside of my plan in that aspect. When I say trust myself, I just not overdoing anything. I know I'm strong, so I don't really have to try to force balls to be hit hard. I just got to let it happen, and that's about it. I don't know. I couldn't even tell you. It's just a deep connection, I suppose.
Okay, right here in the front, guys.
Yes, for Dylan. You have like a career NCAA tournament average like 485 with 7 home runs. I mean, what is it about the NCAA tournament that you kind of take it up a notch?
I don't know, really. I just kind of, I don't know, there's a deeper will to win and a deeper will to compete with, my teammates. Just go out there and try and have as much fun as I possibly can with these guys. And I don't know. It just kind of, the more fun I have, the better I play. So yeah, that's what I try and do.
Right behind him.
Yeah, Dylan, you mentioned earlier this week that you've been waiting kind of 3 years to have this experience to play postseason ball at the box. Did it kind of live up to everything you'd expect? And then just kind of also talk about the offense and just how you guys did this weekend.
Yeah, it's definitely lived up to the expectations that I had, for sure. The energy, the atmosphere is unbelievable. And, all the guys, I think, were really has some tunnel vision for this weekend, and it worked out. Everybody was gelling pretty well this weekend, and we just passed it to the next guy, really, and we had faith in all the guys. All the pitchers came in and pounded the zone and did what they needed to do.
Josh, you've had a big weekend and you've been playing pretty well here out of late. What has sort of clicked for you maybe over the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, just showing up to the field every day and trusting my process, even if I'm not in the lineup or anything, just doing whatever I can to help the team win that day. And every at-bat, just slowing it down and being where my feet are and just trying to help the offense.
Dylan, that home run you had yesterday, you were about as excited as I think anyone here has seen you. What was sort of that moment for you, and was that sort of the biggest home run you've hit so far in your LSU career?
It was just I tried to get the offense going, really. I felt like it was a spark from this lineup to kind of get going. Before the rain delay, we were a little. We trusted our plan. We had the right plan going in, but the bats were a little quiet. We were able to go in and reset our minds. I think it was just a turning point to get the team going and the crowd going. So felt good.
Back in the back.
Dylan, just getting to play at Alec Box Stadium in a postseason atmosphere, I know you'd look forward to that for a while. Just how was that whole experience for you this weekend?
It was unbelievable. I think this is the best. The atmosphere was the best I've seen since I've been here so far. It was awesome. I think the players lived up to it too. They enjoyed every bit of it. It was great to see everybody out there. It was awesome.
Back here in the front.
Dylan, so many players speak so highly of your mentality. What is the one thing that just keeps you grounded throughout all this season?
Yeah, I guess just the balance really throughout the year. Just trusting my process every day, but also doing things I love outside of baseball, which is going fishing or hanging out with friends. Really, I think the balance, keeping the mind fresh all the time, it gets me. More willing and having more fun out there. So, yeah, it's awesome.
Hayden, you caught a variety of lefties today. I just wanted to know from your perspective, what was working for Riley Cooper, Griffin Herring, and Nate Ackenhausen?
It was a good change because we primarily threw righties throughout the week, so it's good to have both, especially coming out of the pen. And like we say, we trust our guys. We trust anybody who comes out of the pen to get the job done, especially for that hitter that they're supposed to face. So it was awesome. Griffin took big strides. Nate looked good as usual, and then it was good to see Coop out there as well.
Michael?
Yeah, it's for Josh and Hayden. We'll start with Hayden because we're on you. Just Coach mentioned it, winning games in different ways, right? Obviously, the first game was very different than the last two games. How much confidence does that give you? I know he preaches that all the time, but to execute and do it.
Right, in postseason play, you have to be able to score in any possible way. And a big emphasis for us is just when there's runners in scoring position, slowing down and putting a good at-bat together. And that's a big focus for our whole lineup is just quality at-bats and pass it to the next guy and keep it moving.
Yeah, like Hayden said, just being able to keep the stick moving in the lineup. Some days the wind might be blowing in or something like that, so we might have to lay a few bunts down. And it's just good knowing that everybody in our lineup can do anything needed to help move the offense.
Right here in the front.
Dylan, throughout this weekend, having Josh in front of you, creating offense the way he did, what did it do for you as the leadoff hitter to have him in front of you?
Yeah, it was awesome to have him, bat in front of me, bat in the 9-hole, but in front of me when the lineup switches over. There's no breathing room in this lineup really. I think everybody has the opportunity and potential to hit a home run at any point, and he gets on base a lot of the time, so it helps turn the lineup over and gets the top of the order. Keeps the momentum going.
Okay, Jacques in the back there.
Hayden, there was a lot of discussion about how you guys would pitch this weekend, the strategy. It appeared to all lay out perfectly. Can you just describe how it went and the importance of the marble game in particular last night to get to today?
You said how we were pitched?
How LSU.
Oh, how we pitched.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it was huge. We had a lot of big starts, especially from Skeens, tied through really well yesterday. And then Coop did a great job coming out today. I think everyone on our team has the ability to go out there and execute, and we have faith in each other, and I think that's the biggest part.
Right here to your right.
Yeah, Hayden, right here to your right. Just that you've spoken a lot last month about just the injuries you had throughout your career, and just how rewarding is it, I guess, to have a stretch like this where you're, coming through in such big moments for the team?
It's rewarding, but I know we have goals that aren't fulfilled. So my priority is just to keep moving. Like, it feels good. It's awesome. I'm glad I can provide for the team, and I think that's the biggest part, just being able to do my job when my number's called.
Back in the back.
Hayden, we'll stay with you. Just understand Coach told you the news after the game. How important was Wes for this staff this year? How did he help you? I talked to Jordan. He said he helped him. Not even pitchers, but do you have a good relationship with him, and do you feel like he really helped the team?
Absolutely. I think there's multiple pitchers that he helped kind of propel them forward in a big way, and he's a great baseball mind, great human. He's going to do great things at that school.
That was some baseball players in this past regional, the post-game press conference from that Game 3 against Oregon State. You heard from Dylan Cruz, Josh Pearson, and Hayden Travinsky. You heard the last question right there to Travinsky asking about Wes Johnson, the pitching coach for LSU, who is now going to be the head baseball coach at Georgia, going to be a Bulldog next season. Going to impact the Tigers, also impact the SEC, Bud, man. But let's talk about Coach Johnson a little bit. He's impacted guys like Paul Skeens. Paul Skeens was not this caliber of player when he came from Air Force. Wes Johnson, we're not going to give him all the credit, but he absolutely developed Skeens, along with a lot of other guys like Ty Floyd. But going to be a big loss for LSU now.
Well, Paul Skeens conveniently mentioned, they said, look, when you're in the Air Force, you wake up at 5:30 to start doing duties.
Yeah, right.
And not only was he a pitcher, but he was a catcher and a hitter. And so he is now just a pitcher. But he did throw 93, 94 over there. He got his body right and got his release point right. And he's been so good. How horrible, horrific, and ridiculous has this umpiring been all through the games with balls and strikes? I understand they're going to miss some, but JP, there's no rhyme or reason. The other day, Big Ben is saying, he said, oh, that was they got a strike there. The same pitch, it wasn't a strike. So no rhyme or reason. Back to Skeens, though. Fantastic. Made a lot of money coming over here. Jay Johnson, by the way, Wes, as we know, has been trying to get a head coaching job. He's been at Arkansas before, Mississippi State before, the Minnesota Twins. He wants to be a head coach. Here's the thing I posed today. And, this happened with Andy Canizero and Paul Maneri. You have a gentleman's agreement, like if you recruit a guy for a school, you don't come and try to recruit that guy to your new school. Well, Canizero did that, and it was not good for him and Maneri's relationship. But a lot of people probably signed because Wes Johnson is known as such a great pitching coach. So Jay Johnson's confident they will have a great replacement. But with the transfer portal, I don't think it bothers anybody. And you know how the blame factor is. Some people blaming Wes on Chase Shores blowing out his arm and Garrett Edwards blowing out his arm. So you're always going to have the finger pointed at him. But that being said, he will be with LSU all the way through until they're done. But at night, he's got to be on the phone, getting the staff, recruiting, and all of that. So he's going to be spending some long nights on the phone.
Not only that, he's got a family. He's got to find some place to live. It's a whole life change when you get a new job. You know that, Bud, man. But we'll take a quick break here on Tigers Roar. We'll come back. We'll hear from head coach himself, Jay Johnson, right here on Tigers Roar. You don't want to miss it. He's the Bud, man. I'm JP. We certainly appreciate you watching here on Pelican Sports TV.
miss the feeling.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi gang, Clarence Buggs here, inviting you to come by Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard, where we tape the show live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 11 o'clock. Come by and feast on news, sports, current events, love of God and country, and lots of common sense, along with some of the best barbecue anywhere on the planet. 10655 Coursey Boulevard, Old School Barbecue, home of the Clarence Buggs Show.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystonecountryClub.com.
You could be driving. Now's the time to save on new Accords during Happy Honda Days at Team Honda of Acadiana. Get our lowest prices and biggest savings on our largest selection of Accords this year. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Team Honda of Acadiana, I-49 just south of Opelousas.
Still talking LSU baseball here on Tigers Roar. We come to you from Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard. Great food at old school prices. Come check out the pulled pork sandwich. They call it the Boss Hog. It is a great deal. Comes with two sides, and it won't hurt your wallet. Old school prices here at Old School Barbecue, bud, man. Fantastic food.
You mentioned Boss Hog. Arkansas choked again. They did not make it. Of course, the SEC had 4 of the top 8 seeds and 8 of the top 16. And as we know, Super Regional, very exciting. With softball now, as Oklahoma and Florida State starts tomorrow night. OU probably win that. But your take, what's LSU got to do? Are they playing good enough? You confident, or are you still a little shaky and it'll go 3 games or 2?
I believe you win that first game with Paul Skeens. You have to have confidence in him. If the bats, stay kind of hot, hit 3 or 4 home runs like you mentioned, I think they handle Kentucky in 2 games. Get as much rest for the pitching staff as you can, heading toward Omaha. And you got to feel pretty good when number 20 is on the mound, bud, man. And, Dylan Cruz, back to Dylan Cruz. We saw him slump a little bit. His average dipped to like 425. That's still human, but, Dylan Cruz, phenomenal season. Every broadcast it gets brought up, man. But is Dylan Cruz the best position player to ever play at LSU?
When you talk about all of his skills, being a 5-tool player, I think he is. Todd Walker, to me, was the greatest hitter along with Eddie Furness. Alex Bregman was a showman out in the field. Yep. Some other great ones. Bottom line, folks, on this June the 6th, Tuesday, getting ready to go Super Regional. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 2 o'clock Saturday, ESPN, Sunday and Monday. Times have not been released. Let's hope it's just Sunday and they get it done in 2. But Dylan Cruz right now, 1 point ahead of Rafe Rhymes' single season record of 431. He's hitting 432. And what I like now, he's seeing the baseball a little bit better. Look, a couple weeks ago, he was taking fastballs right down the middle. So great to see the home runs. Great to see long ball. I still have the T-shirt, Chicks Dig the Long Ball. Let's see if LSU can hit a bunch this weekend and get to Omaha.
Well, the head coach, Jay Johnson, has a plan on how to get to Omaha. He's going to share it with you right here on Tigers Roar. Here's the head coach of the LSU baseball team, Jay Johnson, here on Tigers Roar.
Yeah, I think it was very complete baseball. I think it was complimentary baseball. I remember the first game of the season, Paul went out and threw a shutout. We played errorless defense and hit a few homers and moved the ball with runners in scoring position, and talked about being a good model. And sometimes we've done 2 of the 3 well, and usually when we've done 2 of the 3 well, we win because we have really good players that have a good plan. But I feel good about how we executed and played complementary baseball this weekend.
Jay, obviously the news just broke about Wes Johnson. Does he plan on staying for the rest of the season?
Yeah, he's locked in. This has been done for like 5 days. So, I think the preparation and the execution of the pitching staff this weekend speaks for itself. And, it's just a new time in college athletics. So I would just, we were having a meeting tomorrow morning. I was going to tell him tomorrow morning, but obviously you don't get to that point. But I love him like a brother. I can't imagine only spending 11 months with somebody and connecting the way that we have. And, we're gonna get a great pitching coach. Like, I'm not even worried about that or dialing any of that stuff in. I love working with him. And he's made a big impact on our guys, and it's been great. But, it is what it is, and I don't have any reason to worry about how we're going to roll going forward.
Over the last couple of weeks, the pitching staff has, gradually improved. Is that just sort of a testament to how this team has sort of grown with Wes and, really taking his advice lately?
I think sometimes what gets lost in this environment, meaning the SEC or the top of college baseball, like, look back at our schedule. And I would add Oregon State to that this weekend, and then the SEC tournament, and there's 8 regional hosts from our conference this year. I think we played 6 of the 8. And so you're going to get hit in the mouth a little bit. What I always have had confidence in is we've kind of always rallied back. We lost a 9-run lead to Mississippi State and then went out and pitched 3 really good games in a row after that. And sometimes that gets lost. But this is also a development-based business, and sometimes guys develop at different times. Griffin Herring probably wasn't ready to do what he did today in March, but he developed over the course of time, and because we had gotten him in some of those situations, he was totally in control of himself out there. And those are all over the team. Just a couple of, Hayden, the guy's been hurt, nonstop for the last 2 years, but he just stayed with it, and while he wasn't in the lineup and Brady and Alex were playing, he just kept getting better, and now he was ready for his time. That's just part of maybe the curtain that doesn't get pulled back for everybody outside of us, but we see it, and it gives you confidence in guys, in settings like this. And so, yeah, they've developed in a great way.
Right next time, Coach.
Jay, you've talked a good bit about Josh Pearson recently because of the way that he's played. When he did get his shot here, what do you think allowed him to play well down the stretch?
He controls his heartbeat. He's a good hitter. He has a good short swing. He manages his zone really well. And if you asked him, he kind of got outplayed a little bit going into the season by a number of good players on this team. And this was a competitive, it's obvious, it's the best offense in the country. So it's hard to get in that lineup. But he kept working. It's kind of the same as Hayden. Stayed positive, and I had a meeting with him right before we started conference play and said, hey, I'm going to play you tomorrow just because I trust you. And he was really big in that series win at Texas A&M, and then played well against Arkansas and played well against Tennessee, and then cooled off and somebody heated up. And it just comes down to I trust him to take championship level at bats and to do the things that these guys articulated already. He just brings a lot in that regard.
Over here to your left, Jay.
Jay, throughout all the delays these past few days with the weather and just all these different things that have come up, what do you say the one thing is that you're teaching these boys that's important when things like that do happen?
They would talk about controlling what you could control, and you hear us talk about preparation a lot, overcoming, challenges. Kind of a saying I have with them is there's no problems, there's only challenges, and that's all mindset. And we're going to be a no drama program. Tell us when to play. And if there's lightning within 8 miles, I guess that means you can't play. So let us know when we can get back out there and be prepared. I was really proud of them for how locked in we were when we restarted the game yesterday. I was proud of them for showing up ready to play even though we didn't play on Saturday. And I think that's just maturity, and as it should be. You know, we have old players. You know, a lot of these guys, you know, we're in a very tightly contested regional last year, and they used that experience to their benefit this weekend.
Back right here, Coach.
Jay, obviously, you know, it feels good to be able to win right here. Be able to win, you know, your regional, but how much are you emphasizing to your guys? Like, yes, we're going to celebrate today, but we have bigger things that we're looking forward to, especially making it to Omaha.
Yeah, I think the best thing that happened was, as I said earlier in my opening statement, the preparation for this weekend was elite. And so they have a blueprint. And so I want them to enjoy this. I think if you don't for a minute, you kind of forget about why are you actually doing this. And then they'll have a very structured plan, starting with our meeting later tomorrow morning, of how we're going to attack next weekend. And I have no concern whatsoever of them being ready to play next weekend.
Back left, Coach.
Coach, you obviously broke this down backwards and forwards in terms of your approach and how you were going to pitch it. I just wanted your thoughts now after that you won the 3 games to start Skeens first, and then Thatcher to team up with Ty, and then the job your guys did today, along with those rain delays that kind of challenged you there.
Yeah, this is always one of my favorite weeks of the year, and I love the preparation part of it. Once we got the bracket, we started looking at each team and maybe where the potential trouble spots, problems might arise. You know, it's postseason baseball. I think going with Paul, I'm guessing, is the nature of the question, is I thought it would help our team settle into the postseason. And then the weather thing, that was a real deal. And I have some underground sources that I used all of them. And that was, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that was all of the decision, but it was certainly part of the decision. I remember in 2016, my team won a regional at Louisiana Lafayette, and then we bust straight to Mississippi State for the Super Regional, and that was on Tuesday, and LSU's regional was still being played on Tuesday. So knowing that there was some weather, the potential that he could possibly pitch twice if that was needed, if the pitch count was low in one of those situations. And then I don't think anybody gives Ty Floyd enough credit. The guy's undefeated. That means he has not lost a game. I'm not a genius, but I think it's good when you can pitch guys that haven't lost a game.
Right here in the front, Coach.
Riley Cooper's been pitching for you for a while now. If you could go back to his freshman year, which I know he pitched in a lot of high leverage situations for you at Arizona, what did you identify with him that made you trust him so quickly, and how has he grown?
Yeah, trust is the key word. First off, go back and look up at his high school statistics. He was like 30-1 or something like that. And high school baseball in Fresno, California is really good. Like, this is not, he was a winner. That was the first thing. We recruited him at Arizona because he was a winner. And then he pitched in some big spots as a freshman. And, you know, I'll never forget this opening game. So part of back to the pitching strategy. In 2021 as a freshman, we pitched our ace, Chase Silseth, who's already in the major leagues, and he gave up like 4 fast. I mean, we were down 4-0 in game 1 of a home regional as a host and national seed, and they were a little bit left-handed, so we rolled him out there and allowed our team to come back. And I mean, it was a really solid performance. And then the very next weekend against Ole Miss in game 1 of a super regional, major league pitcher gives up 3 in the first inning. We come back and kind of tie it up. And then we go right to him again, and he shuts Ole Miss down, and you know, helps us get to Omaha, and then goes to Omaha, and we're playing in front of 26,000 people against Vanderbilt, and you're rolling him out there, and I mean the heartbeat's slow, and he just executes. I mean, he pitched in 2 games in the NCAA tournament last year. There's never been a question about whether he can do it or not, and I mean, he's has some of the most important pitching performances of the 2 years that we've been here. And he's just a winner. And sometimes it's not about the velocity of the fastball. It's not about the metrics. It's about who's a winner. You know, and Riley Cooper's a winner. And we're at winning time right now. So, you know, that's why he was chosen today. And the fact that we thought specifically after watching the game last night that he would match up well with Oregon State.
That was head coach of the LSU Tigers, Jay Johnson, talking about his decision to start Riley Cooper in that Game 3 for the LSU Tigers against Oregon State. Worked out for the Tigers. They're headed to the Super Regionals. Last break of the evening. We'll give you a little preview of that matchup coming up this weekend. At the Box, LSU will host Kentucky for the Super Regional in Baton Rouge. Quick break. We'll come back, wrap up Tigers Roar. We appreciate you watching here on Pelican Sports TV.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Every great story starts with the rush of thrilling gaming action. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Getaways for some well-deserved me time. And rewards worth bragging about. If it's a story worth telling, it starts at La Berge Baton Rouge. What's your story?
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Visit Treads & Care Tire Company's new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for over 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair and top-notch customer service.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
They said I could find you here. Why are you fishing? Our company's got to ship out 2 full color brochures and 20 color copies. You're killing me.
It's done. Designed, printed, packaged, and shipped.
How?
You just got to know the right people. Baker Printing, the printing people.
How come you get to fish in this private lake?
Like I said, you just got to know the right people. You can know the right people too.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats. The flavor says it all.
And we continue here on Tigers Roar, ready to put a big, pretty bow on this episode for you. Remember, if you missed any of this episode or any episodes in the past, go to our YouTube page at youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. While you're there, click the like button, click subscribe, so every time we post something new here on Tigers Roar or anything with Pelican, you're notified right away so you can be the first to watch right there on YouTube. But, man, talking about the Super Regional, LSU will host Kentucky, the team that came from the Lexington Regional. Had to beat the Hoosiers out of the losers bracket to do it. This is a team that, when LSU played them in early April, were ranked all the way up to number 12 in the nation. So this team's got some talent, playing pretty good baseball right now. What do you know about the Wildcats, and what do you see coming this weekend for LSU?
And, of course, LSU was the 5 national seed. Kentucky was the 12 national seed. They've had a good team, a good season. Look, really good pitching, good ERA. They run the bases, JP. They've got 91 stolen bases. They play some small ball. Once again, folks, Saturday at 2 o'clock on ESPN. We do not know the time just right now on Sunday, and if, in fact, there's a third game on Monday. But a lot of interesting talk, and I would say right now, prohibitive favorite to get to Omaha. But is that enough for this fan base? We know that Jay Johnson's lamenting the fact of the 4 great pitchers that he's lost, but man, if they pitch like they did and they hit the home run ball and clean up a few things, base running and defense, could be a nice little run they go on this year.
Well, this is the 16th appearance in the Super Regional for LSU. Of course, the last time in 2021. Haven't won a championship since 2009, so LSU is due. Second year for Coach Jay Johnson. Already has his team hosting a Super Regional. But, man, talk about the job Coach Jay Johnson's done so far as the head coach of the LSU Tiger program.
Well, we were talking about it in that first weekend series early on, as you alluded to, that they did not have the roles established on the pitching. Now you've got some lefties coming to the table. Ackenhausen, Riley Cooper, and Griffin Herring. Gavin Guidry, now a bona fide closer for you. Ty Floyd has not lost a game. Jay Johnson said everybody doesn't realize this guy's still undefeated, and Paul Skeens obviously going to win all of the Pitcher of the Year awards. People want to know if Kentucky would throw their 3-guy against Skeens. I don't think you can do that and take that chance in a Super Regional where you only win 2. It'll go 2 if LSU can win Saturday and Sunday, and we always know the ball flies out of the box. So hopeful Tommy White, Trey Morgan, Gavin Dugas, all those guys, show a little patience, quit swinging at balls out of the strike zone, let the game come to you, and then find something and drive it, because as you know, JP, ball, especially if the wind's blowing out, LSU could once again have another weekend hitting 6, 7, 8 home runs.
Well, the Wildcats just won the regional in Kentucky. They had a huge crowd, the biggest crowd in the history of the baseball team. It was like 6,000 and change. They've never seen anything like the box, especially the box hosting the Super Regional. The crowd's going to be absolutely electric. You know Chris Gilliatt's going to be with the Go Tigers, a super fan, going to be getting the crowd fired up. Sunday on the bump, Paul Skeens, the ace of the Tigers. Lots of confidence in him and what he can do on the mound, Bud, man. Do you expect to see some kind of tinkering with the lineup, or is it going to be pretty much the same as we saw in the regional?
Interesting. You posed a great question. Now that Dylan Cruz is hitting good, well again, and got his confidence back, do you put him back in the 3 spot? Probably going to keep him at the leadoff spot. But once again, hey, football tidbits coming in. Your Tigers are appreciably better with the depth. And, of course, the Saints, JP fired up. Both teams, LSU and the Saints, 9.5 on the over-under total for this season. I like LSU over the 9.5.
I certainly appreciate you tuning into this episode of Tigers Roar. Tune in next week for another one. Or go check out our YouTube page at youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting.